Here we are. Drop the app for the Discord. Realizing the music's probably a little too loud. Sorry about that. Double check real quick. Okay. All right. Gonna get to it, I suppose. Wait for some questions to roll in. Yeah. Cool. It's a shame. Pokey's usually here to say hello right when the stream starts. Tragedy. Black Star, how is it going? How's your week, brother? How's your week? What games are you playing right now? What's the vibe? Will Link. Will, I'm actually, let's see, tiring, been working a new job, while also addicted to Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, that's, balancing those two things sounds like an impossibility to me, so you're doing well enough, I suppose. Mia Magic. That's a name I have not seen in a long time.
Interesting maneuver.
Mortis. Thank you for the sub, my brother. Oh, Will's been playing some Dark Deity recently. Imagine that. Will, what chapter have you gotten through the current playable? What chapter are you on, by the way? Yeah, Black Star, that sounds, I can't blame you. That sounds like how it would be. Chapter 5 is as far, yeah. That makes sense to me. I do think I have oh, already, I forgot. We have redesigns for 1 through 4, Will, that I'll probably try to put in this week. I don't know, it's Friday. Next week, I mean. That should make them a lot more enjoyable and focused. We went back to the drawing board since they're pretty not ideal. For everyone else in the chat, the early chapters right now in Dark Deity 2 were kind of pretty like haphazardly put together, just to like have something to sort of start testing. And so now we're kind of reaching the point where we have enough that it's like, okay, let's go back and take a look at these and make sure they're actually fun. They were a little bit mid, as they say, but no longer. No longer. Okay. God, chapter 16 is going to be a bitch to implement. I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I'm just like writing out the details for our level designer. It is going to be a bitch to code. Specifically for battle saves. Oh my god, that's going to be such a pain. It's going to be worth it, but it's going to be a pain. Yeah. Mia Magic, is this your first stream back since I started streaming again? I can't remember if you came by for the like Dark Deity 2 reveal time streams or not. Either way, welcome back. And yeah, I did change the name. We're Dark Deity Dev now. Well, welcome. It's good to see you. Have you seen the trailer? And if so, what do you think? Are you down with the vision? DDD. What up, B-Train? B-Train, if you can answer this, where are you in development on your second one? Like, what's taking up the majority of your time right now? Blackstar, I was up until 7 doing writing last night. Yeah, I know. I check my phone at like 6 a.m. Not even 6, like 7 a.m. my time this morning, and it's like message from Zillerite at 3:30 a.m. my time, so fucking 6:30 for him. Absolutely wild. Finish the first draft of all your maps? Damn, it's mostly playtesting and polishing. That's awesome. That's where I'm hoping to get in a couple months. We're not quite there yet. Let's see, I need to look at it again, but I like the ideas I heard. It's been a bit since playing Dark Deity, but the idea of fewer units with more distinct tools. Yeah, we bit off more than we could chew for sure with the first game, so I feel good about how that's been going. Honestly, Will can speak to this because Will Link has been playtesting. 10 still actually feels like a lot. I feel like 10 in this game feels like as much as 14 in the first game, if not more, because you're like balancing a lot more. Music and voice acting. Okay, was there voice acting in the first one, or is this your first foray into doing that? I didn't get a chance to play it yet. Because that's a whole beast. It has crossed my mind, Blackstar. I think we're in a good enough place we don't need to. I wish you the best of luck, B-Train. That's a whole beast. For real. for real. But it's fun. It's really, really fun to, hear it. Oh yeah, we're going with Morrowind background music today. Sorry, just said something. Blackstar, to answer the question, it's reduced in Twisted Destiny, the roguelike mode, and so I think we get a really good look at like what a smaller team feels like and a bigger team, and I think the campaign is in the right spot. But it's nice to have both and be able to sort of see. Last time we played Dark Deity, I got to the swamp map and then just stopped. Yeah, I can't blame you stopping at the swamp map. We were trolling pretty heavily putting that shit in the game. It's just not good. I hate to say it. Oh god. You should have seen the first draft of the swamp map. Oh my fucking god. The first draft of chapter 13. People love to bitch about chapter 19, and deservedly so. The first draft of 13 was infinitely worse. Infinitely worse than that. It was so bad. It was gigantic. Oh my god, it was enormous. It was fucking huge. They are hard. But this was not like a almost thing that we just like didn't quite do right. I'm gonna water real quick. This was a blatant like it's just not well designed. Yeah, you're very right in that point, Aiden. Still remember the bug you encountered on chapter 16 in your first run. It's become a core member. Well, I know we've talked about this before, but now I'm forgetting what it was. I had a team that could do the swamp map just fine. It was just the idea of working through it at the time was not something I wanted to do. And then, yeah, that's totally reasonable. Yeah. It was a reach the... Yeah, no, that's actually a great point. It's just the wrong type of level design. The wrong type of objective for a swamp. Which I see that now. Pokey! Welcome, my brother. I'm doing some chapter write-ups, and then I'm going to be doing some sort of background code work to make it easier for me to implement some levels next week. Promoted at the same time I killed the dragon. Game thought dragon was still alive, but couldn't find it, so it crashed. Yeah, that was actually a bug for a little... That was a bug in a couple chapters. If you promoted at the end, it could shit itself. I think I fixed that like week 1, but if you were playing it on launch, it fucked with a lot of people's games. I do remember that. Thank you, B-Train. I think it's something I talk about is that it like sort of gives back what you put in. The game is not great by any means, and it's very easy to have a bad time with, but also if you approach it on like simple terms, you can have fun with it. You know what I mean? Well, that sounds good to me. Let me know what you think, Mia. Two is a lot more fun, so if you don't enjoy it too much, I will not hold it against you. Let's see, Blackstar. I feel like a swamp map could be a fun idea with a concept similar to the Grist fight and Engage, where he teleports around the fog of war and your objective is to reduce his HP bar 3 times. I still haven't beat Engage. I played Engage for like 2 hours. But they got back to work on the game. I need to do that at some point. Will, how is Enter the Gungeon? That's a name I've heard a million times over the last few years, I feel like, and I've just never played it. Yeah, well, swamp. You know what a swamp map done well is, if we're really gonna be splitting hairs here, it's fuck me, part 3, like chapter 10 or some shit in Radiant Dawn, the map where the 2 armies you like play the same map on both sides. That map was gas. I always find that map really fun because what inevitably happens is with the Dawn Brigade, you have like 1 unit maybe that can actually survive out there, and they have beast foe on them, and you just send them out and they get extremely overleveled. I think that's fun. Chapter 5 enjoyer, huh? There are levels with some similarities to Chapter 5, I will say. I will say that definitively. The Dawn Brigade Slaughter Simulator, literally. You mean Radiant Dawn? The whole fucking game is Dawn Brigade Slaughter Simulator. Fuck the Dawn Brigade. All my homies hate the Dawn Brigade. I've heard of this silver-haired maiden, and her friends keep dying. Yeah, a lot of the maps are pretty slow playable in Dark Deity. Big drama in the Discord over Dawn. Oh yeah, people were talking about Dawn Brigade the other day, huh? I forgot about that. Edward still sucks. Hard disagree. I love me some Edward. I actually never use him anymore, but when I was a kid, every time. I'm a big Aaron enjoyer. I'm not afraid to admit it. And that is the gospel truth. I think it's a fair amount of people go into 6 with like 4 people, you know, like a couple people that aren't promoted, but usually I think most people promote on chapter 5, yeah. Radiant Dawn hard mode is dare I say it, mid. I'm let's be real, if I was a difficulty maniac, Dark Deity would not be as fucking easy as it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to enjoy the game on normal mode. It's fun for totally different reasons than a lot of the other Fire Emblem games are fun, right? Like, it's more of a, like, build up absolute titanic units, and, like, watch them just absolutely shit on everyone. You know, they're very... Yeah, I think that's exactly right, Black Stars. It's another game that sort of gives back what you give to it. Booted the save up, realized I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, fair. I mean, it's been a long time, it sounds like. In some Fire Emblem games are just better if they're played as RPGs and not strategy games. Yeah, very true. Very, very true. Of course I'm going to say that's true. I'm out here making RPGs, but... Still, very true. Yeah, I Path of Radiance, I don't enjoy. I've never enjoyed nearly as much as Radiant Dawn. The story's really good, but once I play a game once, I'm usually, you know, slamming the start button through the story. Just a Game Boy Fire Emblem game, but slower, kind of. Don't be calling Path of Radiance mid with Aiden in the chat, because he's gonna go ape shit. Zillerite is a true Path of Radiance enjoyer. Path is a peak entry to introduce people to Fire Emblem. Yeah, no, that's true. It's one of the best games to start with. It's phenomenal. I just personally don't like replaying it all that much. But partially also, this is like, it's just a nostalgia thing for me, because I played Radiant Dawn before I played Path of Radiance, so I have no nostalgia for it whatsoever. Whereas Radiant Dawn, like, I beat many times when I was 12. When did it come out? 2007, right? So Oh lordy, I would have been 10 years old. You know, it wasn't weird though, because I had no idea. They did actually. You'd be surprised how good of a job they did, not like needing previous information for it. I didn't even know there was a. I didn't even know there was a game before it for a really long time. Because again, you know, when that came out when I was 10, like you're not like on the internet in the same way, like knowing, like just. I had no idea. Hexing your static with the bad vibes. It's a great game. Is Ike in this game was not a question you asked when you played it, yeah. Maybe. When did Brawl come out? My older brother and their friends were really, really big into... Brawl was 2008, okay. I actually did... I knew Fire Emblem because of Melee, because my older brother and his friends played a bunch of Melee way back when, and still did for a very long time. And I still prefer Melee over everything that's come since. So there is that. But nothing feels as good to me, in my opinion. The physicality of that game is unmatched in just about anything else that's ever made. And I don't really know what it is about the movement that feels so, like, visceral and connective to what you're doing, but, man. Oh, could you imagine if they were just adding characters to Melee? They should fucking do that. They should bring it back as, like, a Nintendo Switch Online thing and retroactively add characters. Do you know how many people would fucking play that? Okay. So... I just put in the details for the absolute weirdest level in all of Dark Deity 2, just so you guys know. The ground to air movement. Yeah, there's a lot about it that feels very different. Okay. Let's see. Are there any Fire Emblem games I haven't played? I think at this point I have not played, like, about half of them still. I haven't played any of the Japanese. I played 4 briefly, and then my save got corrupted a couple chapters, like, I don't know, 4 hours in-ish. And I just couldn't bring myself to start it again. So I haven't really played any of the Japanese-only ones, but I've played all of the English games, I believe. Although you know what, I have not I played Engage for like 7 chapters and just couldn't continue. Yeah, this is something that I don't talk about a whole lot, but I do sometimes. I'm not really a strategy RPG gamer, like, as the primary thing I enjoy. I mostly play other games. It's really just like the certain range of Fire Emblem games that I love, and then like like I play a lot of Counter-Strike. I play World of Warcraft. I play a lot of RPGs. You know, like I beat the fuck out of Starfield when it came out. I played a lot of that. I'm not actually that big of a strategy game person. I just specifically really like Fire Emblem. Yeah. Which probably sounds weird coming from a guy who develops strategy games, but yeah. What exactly made me want to create a strategy RPG out of all the games? The biggest thing is that, like, while I feel like a fair amount of strategy RPGs are made, there are very few that are made that are unit-based, like, real RPG, strategy RPGs in the vein that Fire Emblem is, where, you know, the characters have their level of stat. Like, I don't enjoy TRPGs nearly as much. You know, your Disgaea, your Final Fantasy Tactics. I don't enjoy them nearly as much as how the stat system is so direct in the kind of games that I make. So the reason we made this is of all of the genres and all of the games that are my favorite. You know, if I talk about my top 5 games, which, you know, a couple of the games that are in there, right? If you think about Oblivion, Elder Scrolls, right? Like, people are making a shit ton of open world RPGs, right? Like, I feel very sated. I don't need more. Whereas with, like, Radiant Dawn is one of my favorite games. There aren't a lot of games that I can play that are like Radiant Dawn. Even the Fire Emblem games, a lot of the other Fire Emblem games don't feel like Radiant Dawn. You know, like, it's such a specific niche and a genre that is not made so much anymore because it's just not super marketable. So that was why it really was like this is the game that I want to play, so I'm gonna make it. But also there's a market, you know, like there's an underserved market. Think about all the people that like Dark Deity. Like, people want these games. Now, Dark Deity is not as good as, you know, I might have liked for it to be. That's why we're making Dark Deity 2 better. But there's a market for it because no one is making it. You know, you got like B-Train and I are like the 2 fucking people that are making them. Pokey. CS2 is fucking weird, man. It's good. So since in the beta, I play a lot of Counter-Strike. In the beta, it felt like shit. You were dying behind walls. The movement is so weird. The audio is atrocious compared to CS:GO and Source. I was really concerned about it. But since they actually released it, they fixed a lot of that. I haven't been having so many issues with it. I'm pretty happy with it. It needs some work, but I'm most of the way through my placement games, so. SRPG is also so loosely defined, and the genre is so broad in what it can mean. Yeah, there's I feel like they strategy RPGs usually lean more on strategy than RPG, which is part of why I wanted to make ours, which is more RPG. Bianca's not even bad in Surge. That's not the worst thing. Bianca is never bad. Very true. But yeah, that's all sort of many reasons. Many reasons. Also had it pointed out to me by a friend that Bianca's crit quotes are super villainous, and it's funny when you know her character. Yeah. Amelie did a great job voicing her, I will say. Without knowing what I'm doing, I'm stopping this Want map? Just remember Bianca being good in the wind classes. I'm surprised I made her a surge. Oh, I see what you're saying. The new UI I got was the weapon upgrade. That's true. Yeah. So M, who's our UI and map art person. Yeah, you and me both, Mortis. Would love to get her for game 2, but she's very famous. There are a lot of people that was just really cool to have in the game. Our voice cast was way stacked, considering that we really didn't do that much with it. Yeah, Pokey, the weapon upgrade UI is done, and it is delicious. I think it's maybe my favorite piece of UI in the game, if I'm being real. I think people are going to like it a lot. Will, we should talk about... I think, reached some decisions with it. I've been toying with the weapon upgrade system recently. I think I do know what I'm going to do with it. And that's probably an endeavor for tomorrow. Because I have company coming over in like an hour, or hour and a half, and I have a couple things I need to do before then. But I feel good about it. Since coming back, I've just been doing a lot, and I got like decision fatigue. I don't know if B-Train, you probably experience if you're still in chat, like just having to make so many decisions in the span of a couple days. I was just like, you lose the confidence isn't really the right term, but I'm just gonna say that because I think it makes the most sense out loud. Like, you lose the confidence to Will Link redeemed mod poll. Oh my goodness. You lose the confidence to keep saying definitively, like, yes, I think this is what we should do. These are the two things. Like, I needed a few days off from making calls to, like, be ready to make calls again, and they gave me some time off from the system to look back at it again. And I think we have it in the right place, probably. Which I will say is... lower frequency and a bigger effect. Yeah. Besides, gems are the real loot anyway, Will. Let's be 100% real. Gems are the real loot. You don't give a fuck about the weapon loot. I want gems, goddammit. Make a rule where I don't make decisions after noon. Damn, this game would never fucking get done if I had that rule. God, I don't think I've ever made a decision before noon in my fucking life. That's not true. I've been pretty good about getting up early recently, but that is admirable, E-Train. Very. Aiden never makes decisions. That's not true. You make decisions all the time. They're small decisions that you don't have to consider as largely implicating. Usually do decisions and hard stuff in the morning, then afternoon is playtesting or organizing stuff to help reduce fatigue. Damn, yeah, Aiden is just that good. He's kidding, but it's true. Absolutely, it is true. Yeah, I think just because of the scope of how many people I like manage, I can't spread it out quite like that. Especially just because we have artists in Europe, we have artists in all over the world, so I can't like break up my stuff to like manage people this part of the day, do this part of the day. I do a little bit of everything all the time, and it's frankly very much not a good idea, but I have survived this long somehow, so I'm probably gonna keep doing it. Whether that is a good idea or not. Um, when you worked with your Chinese publisher, you had to change your schedule. Yeah. I didn't know that you did that. How did that go? If you're allowed to say. I know we have. I like. We're released in Chinese through my publisher, but Ken June. What's up, Kenny? Thank you for the follow, my friend. Thank you for coming to my stream. B-Trade, I'd be curious to hear how just that whole experience was.
Of course. Interesting maneuver.
Oh my goodness. Seth 1128. My heroes have arrived. Peter's in the Discord right now. Look at that. Look at that smile. That damn smile, Seth. You also had to crunch it the month before release, damn. Yeah, oh god, localization is so fucking difficult. I'm not a fan of doing localization. I I think it's the hardest part. At least for Dark Deity, the hardest part was the localization. If maybe the Switch port, but oi, it was a lot. It was a lot. Okay, let's see. Oh, is that... Did they change PogChamp? I've been wondering what the fuck that emote is that when people are using it. Did he do something racist or something? The PogChamp guy? Is that why it's... what is that? What, a lizard? Looks like a lizard. Oh, it's totally B-Train. It's totally worth it. Yeah, the localization. It's a pain, but it is absolutely worth it. It's just really hard. Oh, he supported January 6th. So it's been out for a while, probably then. Interesting. I did not know that. Man, that actual event was like years ago now, huh? Wasn't it? That's tripping me out. Wow, that was a long time ago. Time is really zooming by, huh? God damn. Let's see. Aiden, I'm sort of putting together some of the info for chapter 17, so Luke can make the start designing the level for it right now. But it's actually a little bit nebulous what is the best way to proceed there. How will localization work this time around? Because in Dark DD1 I saw some screenshots and the text looked a bit off. Yeah, a big piece of that is that we're going to be doing it before launch this time. So I have a lot more time to actually like fix it. And I have built the game with localization in mind, so it shouldn't be nearly as big of a problem. I had no idea what it would entail the first go around, and I wasn't prepared for it. So I don't anticipate it be. I mean, it's going to be a lot of work, but I don't anticipate it being. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a really hard process. Still not used to it. More than a couple hundred people seeing your work. That is going to change quite aggressively come launch time. It's gonna be fun though. It's gonna be really fun. What's up, Moose? Have I finished the UI for Old Man Dating Sim? Not yet. We are working day and night to finish Old Man Dating Sim, but it's not done yet. I know it's hard. The keyboard's good ASMR. Oh, I didn't even think it comes through my mic, huh? I didn't even think about that. What countries sold well for localization, if you don't mind me asking? I quite genuinely could not tell you. I do not pay that much attention to sales and stuff because that's kind of publisher territory. Like, I can see it, but I don't really go look usually. I kind of, it's really easy to drive yourself crazy, like going in and saying like, oh, how many copies do we sell today? So I just like, I'll check it like casually every few weeks just to see how we've been doing. I know that, don't quote me, but I think that our biggest non-English region was China. After that, I think it's a bit of a wash. It was all pretty similar. I don't know. I do know that only about half of our copies sold are in the US. Although, how much of that is just people like using VPNs to get it cheaper? I don't know. Because I have friends that, a fair amount of friends that do that. So I know it's pretty common. So, who knows? Yeah, I was kind of surprised too, Moose. Especially just because we got a lot of backlash for the translation when it happened. Which is really frustrating. We get a lot of like, oh, it's machine translated. Which, like, we paid a publishing company, a localization company to do it. So, we've been assured it wasn't machine translation. But I think it like was implemented in an ugly way, which makes it look low quality. And that's just sort of like the automatic accusation. How well did physical copies do? I have no fucking idea. I have absolutely no idea. Most sold was China, Japan, and Brazil. I don't know why Brazil, but I consider doing Portugal someday. Portuguese. The conversion sucks, though. Yeah. Zillray bought one. Yeah, I bought one. I know that. Yeah, and I'm sure the whole machine translation conversation is going to get even more complicated as it's easier to just like feed it to AI and have them do the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, we would never. But I think that's just the easiest accusation to level at it if you are suspicious of it, which is fair. Okay. Google Translate. Google Translate isn't hugely different to ChatGPT. They both rely on contextual chunks to decide what to say. Yeah, I have no idea if any of that has like come along far enough to be useful or not, but I suppose we will find out eventually. We'll hear about it. Okay. Hmm. So I'm done in here for now. Or am I? Wait a minute. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Oh. Hmm. So I think next week I will probably start a Radiant Dawn randomizer run and do that one of the days on stream every week. Just because I've been people have been talking about it in the Discord and I'm fucking fiending to play it. So let me know. Let me know. You can just do it in the Discord if there are any particular like settings you would want to see for that. I thought we had a lot of fun with it last time, so there is that. But I think I'm going to call stream a little early today just because I have some friends coming over and I need to finish up some work that I am having the hardest time splitting my focus on reading chat and also doing it. So speak now or forever hold your peace. Jill Fizzert rides the Mother Wyvern and unleashes a hail of slay on the innocent. Best Fire Emblem character. Jill is pretty goated. I don't think I used her in my last run. Look, it's just hard to use Jill when you it's hard to use Jill when you have Har, who is the actual best Fire Emblem character ever. Oh, Moose, I have a question for you before I go. How are you enjoying the Zuhair reveal? I feel like that character is way up your alley. Have you looked? It'll be the last thing in updates. We made that one for you, Moose. Oh, you're not in the Discord. It's on our Twitter also. I don't know if I posted it anywhere else. Technically, there's a couple of quick shots on the TikTok as well, but they're a little harder to find. Yeah, just look in between the next stream. I'm gonna head out. Guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for the questions. Always appreciated. And have a lovely weekend, fam. Yeah, I thought you might like that design.